Hey everyone, my name is Lynx Kameli. Back in July I made a video talking about the potential that I might swap off tanking for Endwalker and move towards being a DPS main. More specifically, a melee player, looking to play both Dragoon and Reaper. However, since then, I've been spending a lot of time on DPS and have been doing ultimates on Dragoon to see if I would enjoy playing at a high level as a DPS. Because of that experience, I've come to a conclusion on what I want to play for the next expansion. In this video, I'd like to discuss my choice, why I chose it, and where you might disagree and find things fun that I don't find particularly enjoyable. As always, I hope we can learn from each other in this video, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments down below. But before we get into that, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Now I know most of you have already heard of Raid Shadow Legends, but let me tell you why I enjoy this game as someone who loves optimizing and playing games at a high level. One of my favorite features is the star system. Now when you finish a stage, you get scored based on how well you did, how many champions you lost in battle, and my favorite, going in with a lower amount of champions than what is allowed. I loved this, the idea that you are rewarded for taking on harder challenges and pushing yourself to beat content in a harder way. Now just recently this month, there was a huge new update to the Doom Tower, adding a brand new rotation and 2 brand new bosses, Bommel the Dreadhorn and Astronix the Dark Fae, along with new enemy balance, new secret rooms to discover, and of course, new artifact sets to power up your champions. Now I'm not strong enough to even attempt it, so I'll leave that to you guys, but from what I've seen, it looks intense. If you're worried about jumping into the game now, maybe it's too late, maybe there's too much to do to catch up to the high level players, don't worry. Raid Shadow Legends just introduced a brand new event featuring Super Raids. Super Raids double your rewards from dungeons and can speed up your progress immensely so you can tackle the hardest content in the game in no time. If you want to check out Raid Shadow Legends for yourself and get in on the action, either scan the QR code that's been in the corner of the screen, or click the link down in the description and you'll be rewarded with an epic hero named Chonoru, who I'm told is amazing in the new Doom Tower. On top of that, you get 200,000 silver, an XP boost, an energy refill, and an ancient shard to get your hands on a brand new hero immediately. When you log into the game, all your rewards will be waiting for you in this reward chest in the top right of your screen for the next 30 days only, so don't miss it. Now back to the video. So, what am I playing for Endwalker? Are you ready for the grand reveal? Drum roll please. Ta-da! Warrior! Hey, wait a minute, that's clickbait! Hold on, allow me to explain myself. As I'm sure most of you could have guessed, I'm sticking with tanking. No, this mini-series is not just for content. I really did think I wanted to swap off tanking. I gave playing DPS a really fair attempt, but for the reasons I'll get into, I found it lacking. First of all, and most obviously, is the lack of utility. As a warrior, I have Reprisal, Shake It Off, mitigation cooldowns to reduce damage, on-demand heals in the form of Equilibrium and Nascent Flash, with Nascent Flash also healing a party member so I can choose who to heal strategically. As a Dragoon, I have Feint, and Second Wind every 2 minutes. That's about all I can do before I'm out of options. One of my greatest joys in tanking is the adaptability required at high levels. If a healer dies, I can pop a cooldown and focus on defense to ease up healing so that a res can get out. If my co-tank dies, I can Voke the boss and take over and use cooldowns in a way I hadn't planned, but we adapt on the fly and reverse the tank swap rotation, adding a new layer of gameplay that you won't find on DPS. The biggest draw to DPS is the numbers, of course. People love doing max DPS, and I'm sure many of you would place me in that category of people who care a lot about numbers. Here's the thing though. I've never cared about damage numbers. I know, sounds odd, right? Aren't most of my videos focused on optimizing tank damage and how to achieve the highest DPS? Well, the problem is, damage is not my goal. Damage is a byproduct of how I play the game. I play to be the best player possible. Not just in DPS, but in all aspects. I want to be the most consistent, the fastest learning, the most vocal, the easiest to get along with, and of course, the highest damaging tank player in the game. That was my goal. So while yes, I of course try to do maximum DPS when I'm playing, it's not why I play. It's just part of being a good player. So if I'm unmotivated by big crits and top damage and seeing my name at the top of the meter, well then a huge draw of playing a DPS class is now gone. I care way more about how fun a class is, how strict in its rotation it is, and how much room for adaptation exists. And Dragoon, as I'm sure many of you are aware, is an extremely on-rails class with almost no deviation in its rotation unless you have to delay a jump for a mechanic. Other than that, you are doing the same back-to-back combo rotation, while Warrior can choose to use Storm's Eye earlier to allow for more room to use path combos, or perhaps there is downtime and you want to extend your Storm's Eye to longer than the downtime so that your first GCDs when the downtime is over are still buffed by the 10%. Other times, you let your Storm's Eye timer get very low to increase it back up with Inner Release, or maybe a fight is ending and you want to get another Fell Cleave off. Essentially, the open rotation of a Warrior leads to a lot of choices on a moment-to-moment basis that I just don't feel exists on Dragoon. So then, why my obsession with Dragoon and Reaper? Why not try other classes? Well, I have. When I first started playing this game, I was a Bard main. I've healed progression, I've DPS'd progression, and I've tanked progression. And I keep finding that the only other role that has this adaptability is healing. But I don't want to press Glare for the next 2 years, so healing is out the window. I think in the end, this issue comes down to a feeling of satisfaction. What is satisfying to you? Big crits, big numbers, juicy DPS, your name at the top of the meter, or making sure that your team has the highest probability of success and you having the opportunity to take control of a situation when it starts getting out of hand. The most joy I feel in FF14 is when something I did directly contributed to the team's success. And while yes, doing high damage and fainting at the right times can contribute to the group's success, I often find that tanking has the highest contribution to the team's success. When you have a bad tank, it's extremely obvious. I get satisfaction out of salvaging situations that would have caused other groups to wipe, and that is primarily in the hands of your tanks and your healers. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun on Dragoon, and I still will, but when deciding on a class that I'll play for potentially thousands of hours across years, a main, well, I guess I'm stuck with tanking. Not to say that's a bad thing, of course, but this feeling of trying something new got shot down pretty quickly as I experienced the life of a DPS player. I'm sure I'll still level Reaper and Dragoon after my tanks and play them a lot, just as side classes, and not as mains. Warrior seems to have stolen my heart. It's the class I have the most time spent on, the most fun on. I identify with Warrior, and even though my baby and I went through a rough patch where I thought we might break up, that break only made my love for Warrior stronger. Sorry if that's really dramatic. So, come Endwalker, I'll be tanking as I always have. That doesn't change my thoughts on making DPS content, however. A lot of you guys have commented and reached out to me that you would love to see more DPS-focused videos on things like melee uptime, rotation optimization, and how to do proper reopeners when coming back from downtime. These are all great ideas, and I'd love to make them in the expansion, so while I may not be maining DPS, that doesn't mean Lynx on DPS will never happen. Please look forward to it. That's all I have for you today, friends. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with my uploads, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. You guys ever notice when I say stay up? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, stay up to date. Stay up to date. I don't understand why I say it so quickly. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with my uploads. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with my... Okay. I'm ending the video. Bye.